Jannik, there's been some talk from some players about potentially boycotting the Grand Slams if, agreements aren't reached on things like prize money. I just wondered where you stand on that and whether that's something you would ever consider.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think, the Grand Slams, they are the best and the most important tournaments we have in our schedule, and I do believe that starting also back in the days, the further or the past generations we had, I can only talk about the tour since I know, and it's going back for 15 plus years, and having the big three, and not only them, also from the women's side, incredible rivalries, and now it's our generation, and also for the future generation, and it's more about respect, It's because I think we give much more than what we are getting back, and it's not only for the top players, it's for all of us players, and from men's and women's side, we are very, very equal, and I think the top 10 men, top 10 women, we wrote a letter, and it's not nice that after 1 year we are not even close to a conclusion of what we would like to have. And talking in other sports, if the top athletes they send important letters, I truly believe that within 48 hours you have not only a response, but you also have a meeting, with this kind of thing. So. Then of course we talk about money, but the most important is respect, and we just don't feel it. And I think we players we are a bit disappointed also of the outcome of Roland Garros, for example. So let's see what's coming, and I think in the next couple of weeks we know also the prize money we're gonna have in Wimbledon, and we truly hope that it's gonna be better, and then of course. US Open. So I do understand players, talking about boycott, because it's somewhere we also need to start, and now it has been a very long time with this, and then we see in the future.
And, well, just following that, then, given how ambitious you are and how much you're focused on winning tennis matches and winning tournaments, would you be willing to not play a big event? In this case, if you feel like the respect still if you haven't received that respect over time?
I mean, it's of course tough to say. It's I cannot predict the future in a way, but in the same time, I also believe that somewhere we need to start. So I understand other players not playing, and but yeah, let's see. I'm definitely I can see other press conferences, and I'm definitely not the only one, and it's the first time that I feel like that the players are all in the same scenario and in the same point of view, and I think it's also right, because without us, without the players, there are not gonna happen any tournaments. In the same time, we also know and we respect the tournaments, because they make us bigger as athletes. I mean, I'm very neutral in this, So, but yeah, I mean, let's see in the future.
Anyone else?
Hello, Jannik. You keep winning in clay season, but maybe do you think it's too much? I know with Roland Garros is just coming, and Rome is our home country. I'm wondering, is there a priority between the two biggest events in clay?
No, I think biggest title we have and the most important is always going to be a Grand Slam, and it's going to be Paris, and I hope that I'm in the top physical, mental shape there. So of course this is a very important tournament for me and coming up, but I had some great results, especially this year, on clay, and this gives me confidence. In the same time, you also need to handle your body and mind in a very good way. So we decided here, to rest a little bit more, and then we see how it goes.
Very last one in English, but Michael.
Jannik, could I take you back 10 years, doing an article about your backstory ahead of Wimbledon, and I wonder if you could just talk about the decision to go and train at the Piatti Academy when you were so young, and how difficult that was for you, how emotional it might have been leaving your parents and leaving home, and some of the things that you suddenly had to deal with as a very, very young boy.
Yeah, I think, of course, the decision was not easy because I had to leave, of course, family, but I know that family, they're next to me in any decision. It's more like, going away from friends, because I was not anymore so much in contact with them. I have a couple of very good friends. We still manage, having, I think, the best friendship because they know you, or they know me since I'm very young and I was no one. And I think this is the best friendship we have. But in the same time, yeah, I was struggling, to get used to new condition also, for my body. I never went to the gym before. I never played more than a couple of times a week before. And, with 13 and a half, everything has changed. And but I believed it was good for me, as growing, as a person mostly than a player. And of course, you dream to play in the biggest stages possible. But yeah, it was not easy. And at the same time, I was very, very fortunate, with where they put me, getting to know people. I was living with a Croatian family, which I'm still in contact with, and it has been an amazing experience. And I would do it, again, not because of the result I have on court, but because it makes me grow as a person first, and yeah, and that's it.
Buongiorno Jannik, bentornato a Roma. Volevo tornare sul concetto di stanchezza che tu hai evocato a Madrid. Ecco, per un campione come te che gioca, vince tanto, a Parigi tra poco più di 2 settimane, ecco, è una stanchezza più psicologica o fisica? E come si fa a dare tutto, per esempio, a Roma in questa settimana, in queste 2 settimane, sapendo che poi il torneo più importante deve ancora arrivare?
Ma no, sicuramente sto più sul presente, no? È bellissimo tornare a Roma e soprattutto dopo l'anno scorso, no? Ero fuori per mesi, poi sono rientrato qua, ho sentito tanto affetto da tantissime persone e quindi io sono super contento di essere qua e la stanchezza onestamente sentivo che ho recuperato durante il torneo e quindi è una cosa buona, il fisico mi sento abbastanza bene. E quindi ho avuto adesso 3 giorni totalmente liberi, non ho fatto né tennis né palestra né nulla, ho solo 2 giorni adesso per preparare questo torneo, ma secondo me è stata la cosa più giusta in questo momento e poi vediamo come reagisco in campo e poi ovviamente cerco di essere pronto per Parigi.
Ciao Jannik, buongiorno. A marzo, durante i tornei americani, Alcaraz, che era il numero 1, diceva: quando sei il primo della classifica giochi con un bersaglio sulla schiena. Adesso tu sei in questa posizione, la sensazione però che si ha da fuori è che rispetto a lui magari i tuoi avversari siano un po' più colpiti dal fatto che non esci mai dalla partita, cioè anche quando sei nei momenti di difficoltà tu resti sempre dentro la partita e quindi hai una forza mentale straordinaria. Forse è questo, no, che fa un po' la differenza.
Ma io credo che Carlos ha delle qualità incredibili che in questo momento nessuno ha, però lo vedevi già da tanto tempo, no? Che lui ha questa capacità dove il picco è altissimo ed è quasi impossibile, no? Di stargli dietro, però io credo che sono un giocatore anche come gioca a tennis proprio in sé è molto costante, no? Cerco di stare lì mentalmente tutti i punti e onestamente sto soltanto cercando di dare il massimo, no? Poi per me cambia abbastanza poco, no? Se sono 1, 2 o anche numero 3 al mondo, perché alla fine la partita parte a 0 e si gioca tutto in campo, quindi è stato sfortunato Carlos in questo momento perché comunque sai, se lui fosse qua magari la situazione è totalmente diversa e quindi però nessuno lo può sapere, no? Però ecco, da parte mia sono contento di quello che sto facendo qualcosa di molto molto bello, però ecco, c'è un altro torneo qua, si parte da 0 e vediamo come va.